Okay, so I think our next national holiday is probably tax day, right? So at that point, that means we got to start filling out that 1040 form. Okay. Now, at the start of it, it's going to be personal information about you, about your family, anybody else who's going to be involved in this particular form. Okay. And so we need to look at this line right off the top. Do we need to make a selection on this line or do we just leave it alone? Okay. So we chose single. All right. So we had to make a choice on that line. So now I'm at this blue line right here that we got the blue box. We're going to look at that. So now I just need to fill out name and initial. So first name and initial. So we got I am a, and then my last name, goofball. So I am a goofball. All right. So now on this blue line right here in this blue box, is there anything else on this line that I need to complete? Yeah, I got to put in goofball's social security number. All right. Now we're going down to the next line. So we got the green box around this next line. What information do I need to put on this line? Correct. Nothing, because he's filing single. And so now we just need to start putting in his address. So we're at 2.5 North Southeast Boulevard. I'm in apartment 0. And then we're in Happiness, Arizona. Okay. And now Goofball is not going to give to the presidential campaign. We'll talk about that in a second. Nobody can claim him as a dependent, and he is not blind. All right. So we're moving on. But what if Goofball has kids? What if he's got kids? Well, there's another section about putting in information about your kids. Now, because he doesn't have any, we're not going to deal with this. He's just filing single. Okay. So now we get to this part of the 1040 document, which is all about the income. Okay. So that means we need to have some forms. We have talked about the W 2. And so we've got this information right over here. So I got this 50,000, that's wages, tips, and other compensation. Where am I going to put that 50,000 on my 1040? On what line will I write that number? Excellent. That's going right up here into line 1. Perfect. Now, what if Goofball has more income? Well, here's a form called the 1099 INT, which means that he earned interest on some account. Okay, so he's got money in the bank and he earned some interest, so the bank is going to send him this form just like the employer sends him the W 2. Okay, so Goofball earned $1,200 in interest income on his account at the bank. On what line is that number going to go on the 1040? Perfect. Up here into 2B because that's where we got our taxable interest. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So we've got those two numbers. And at this point, we're going to focus on line 7B because Goofball didn't earn anything else. He had no IRA distributions, no pensions, no quality dividends, no Social Security benefits, nothing else. So we're going to go right down to line 7B. So what value are we going to put into line 7B? Awesome. The 51,200 because it tells me just add all those lines up. Well, I only have these two to add together. Now, Goofball did not have anything to put into Schedule 1, line 22. He didn't do Schedule 21. So now we're going to focus on line 8B. What value goes on to line 8B? Excellent. That same 51,200 because it says we're going to subtract 8A from 7B, but there's nothing in 8A. So we're good. Now, that's his adjusted gross income. Now we're going to go to the deductions. He doesn't have much to itemize. That's making a big list of stuff. So he's just going to take the standard deduction. So what number are we going to put on line 9? Great, the 12,200 because, hi, there it is. It says single. Okay, now he didn't complete Form 8995 or 8995A because he didn't have anything else to deal with. So, what are we going to write on line 11A? Great, 12,200. And so now we're almost done with this section. The last thing we need to figure out is what goes on line 11B, which is our taxable income. This is an important number. So what value goes on to line 11B? Perfect, 39,000, because it just says subtract 11A from 8B. Well, here's 8B, here's 11A. We do that subtraction, we get $39,000. Awesome job. There is more to this form, but we'll work on this more, but I wanted to focus today just on the income part. So there is going to be a whole section about what taxes do you pay, and then at the end, do I get a refund or do I still owe money? Okay? So we will deal with that in the near future. And so at this point, ready, set, go, we're going to get this assignment done, the 1040 income section class kick assignment. Here is that class code. As always, I'm excited to see your great work.